What's going on, people? My name's Kyle Lettman, and you're locked into Media Spotlight UK. Keep it locked.
I know a lot of guys must approach you, talk a lot of shit, and they must bore you. What can I say to impress you? Show you that I'm that different guy.
Media Spotlight UK is here with the guy that is taking things solo and is ready to let man into his career. It's Carl Lettman. How's it going, sir?
It's going good, brother. How you been?
I'm not too bad. I'm glad to be here. Obviously, for people that don't know, now, obviously, you were in a group years ago called Fundamental '03.
That's right.
For those that don't know, give us a brief history how you started with the group and how you got on together.
We started together when we were mad young, like 14 or something ridiculous like that. And we rehearsed together for like a year, just dancing. We got pretty much trained by this guy called Deanie Boy, who decided that he was going to put us into this boot camp. And we trained every day from like 12 in the afternoon until 12 at night, dancing every day for 1 year before we hit the stage one time. The first time we hit the stage, when we went on, we supported ATL. And I'm not being big-headed, well, I can now because we're not in the group no more, but we tore that stage in half. And that was pretty much where we started from.
Basically, you're sitting in front of me, and I don't see the other two gentlemen involved in the group. So what happened in terms of you guys splitting, and why did you become going into being solo?
I feel like we decided that we had just come to the end of the road because we had been doing it.
End of the road. Yeah.
So like it literally got to a point of where we had been doing this for long enough, and it's not that we couldn't have gone further. I just feel like a lot of us felt that now would be a good time to pursue something solo. I mean, if the future we come back together, maybe. If not, God willing, we'll have to see. But I just felt like nobody wanted to turn, 28, 29, 30 and still be rolling around in a boy group.
Yeah, because I was going to lead on to that because you've been around the scene for just over 10 years with the group. You've done so many great things. I mean, you were affiliated with Dreddy. Yeah. And if everybody knows Dreddy, if you know
Absolutely.
Dreddy, he knows everybody.
Yeah.
And you've been signed to Geffen Records, where you got like Mary J. Blige,
Snoop Dogg, Keisha Cole.
Yes,
Go on,
all the greats. So how did you get involved with such a big record label, and how did they take you on?
Actually, they found us. We had got a deal in Norway, and we went over there and we did this really big show. I think we didn't even realize how big the show is. Like 100,000 people in this park, and Neyo was there, and that was where we met Neyo, and we had a great show. He had a great show. We all hung out afterwards, and I think the news of that show spread to America, and then people started asking questions, and this guy called Big Tank came over, and he kind of located us. He found what he needed to find online, and we kind of got into talks from there.
What would it take to hold you? Take a chance and get to know you. Better yet, maybe I should show you.
So you must have had a lot of women come on to you as a group, especially during your run. Is it like groupies every night, like when you were doing shows and stuff like that?
Well, no. All right, I'm going to say yes and no. Groupies I feel like are reserved for a level that we never got to. However, I think women are attracted to talented men. So if you can dance and throw yourself about on stage a little bit, women, there's something in them that reacts and make go, ah! That's what happens. So after you come off stage, they're a little bit it's easier to speak to them because on stage you've proven to them that you're worth something.
Do you still speak to the fellas?
Yeah, we're cool, man. Everybody's got each other's numbers. If something's going down, we give each other the heads up.
Talking about your solo career, let's go into your new singles. Now, first of one of your singles was Your Body.
Yeah.
Now, my very, very personal opinion on it is that from the beginning, when I first heard it with the intro,
Yeah.
now I personally felt that it was going to be like a slow jam, almost into an R&B track, and then the drop hits, and it's like raw, like it goes into dubstep, it goes into drum and bass, it goes into electro. It's like it's a different mix of visuals and different sound. Like, how did you come up with that concept for that sound to happen?
Well, that, if I'm honest, that concept had a lot less to do with me. I work with this guy called Mike from the Luna Kids, and he had an idea. I want to do this song. Starts off a little bit R&B. Then I'm going to do something different with it. I didn't know what different was. So we wrote the song. I wrote the verses, wrote the chorus, and then I kind of left the studio and said, all right, cool. I don't know what you're going to do. When I came back to the studio, that was what I came back to. And then it was like, oh my days.
So that was something you weren't even expecting yourself?
No, like, to be honest, a lot of the stuff that me and Mike do together is not really intended for anything specific. Like, we build a song together, and then he just keeps building it until we hit some kind of plateau that's like, yeah, this is it right here. And that's how our energy's formed. Or I'll go to him and I'll be like, I want to dance. I'm tired of singing slow songs. I want to be dancing. Yeah. And then he'll go off and work on something like that. Do you know what I mean? So his job is to give me the energy that I want, and my job is to write the song to fit the energy that he's giving me.
Now, new single just released just under a month ago, One More Drink.
Yes.
I watched the video, and I look at it as there's a few messages I'm seeing in there. Now, the typical one is that you see a girl in a bar, and I feel it's one of them tracks that you need a bit of booster confidence. So you get that little drink down, yeah, and you see this girl, and you think like, all right, let me have one more drink and then see if I can get this girl's number before I leave. Was that intended for the track in terms of the message, or was there a different approach to how you wanted it created?
Not at all. I like, literally, what I like writing about is, as opposed to sometimes writing about a specific concept, I write about a specific moment. So that song for me was capturing that mini moment where you have now decided, imagine that whole song happening within 3 seconds. That's what happens to you at the bar. You see the girl, you're like, oh my days. All right, I'm going to talk to her. All right. That is the whole song.
So the boost of confidence, like I was saying before, so you need that booster just to...
Yeah, I mean, some girls are that fine that you really can't just roll up on them like that.
You feel like a stalker, so it's like, no, let me just cool myself a bit, don't take too much, chill a little bit, then make my approach. Okay, so, obviously, we've just spoken that you're pushing your solo career. Right. You've had your 2 singles that you've been releasing, so what's the future for Carl Lettman?
Well, this album is pretty much the album this is just the mixtape. It's just like the EP where we're just like, all right, yeah, all this, listen to this, tell me what you think. Realistically, the real album happens after this. So we'll be releasing the real album maybe later on this year, September, October, those kind of times. So that's what we're in the process of recording now. This album we're going to promote, between now and then. But this album is just to show, these singles, these videos, they're all just to show. I want people to get used to the fact that I'm not pigeonholed myself into any particular energy. Like, I'm not an R&B guy. Don't look at me like that. You can call me that if you want. But that's not who I am. I'm very much, I jump from energy to energy. That's all it is for me. It's all about energy. So wherever that energy is, that's where I'm going to be.
I'm going to play a game with you.
Let's go.
Basically, your name is Carl Lettman.
Right.
So I've come up with a game called Would Carl Lettman? I'm going to throw a few scenarios at you.
All right.
And you got to tell me whether Kyle would let man do this or do that.
Right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Would Kyle let man order drinks for you?
If he knows what I want, go for it.
All right. Would Kyle let man apply for you to go on the X Factor?
No.
Would Kyle let man get you to collaborate with Justin Bieber?
What? Of course. Are you nuts?
Now, obviously, with Justin Bieber, he's had a few run-ins with the law as of recently. Does that change your opinion on him as a person, and would you still like to collaborate with him in the future?
I mean, of course I collaborate with him. Like, I mean, who hasn't had a run-in or two with the police? I mean, it probably happens to him more because he is who he is. And yes, he's being a bit of a loose cannon right now. But who isn't a loose cannon at any point? Like, it happens to everybody. It's just he's getting caught out by it right now.
Yeah, no. So if you don't get caught out, that's pretty good. Would Carl Lettman completely cut your hair off?
No, I've been there and done that. That's not happening again. I think if there was anything that would make me switch, like I got one of them tempers that don't exist, but like I do. Do you know what? I'm gonna tell you when I've cut my hair. I'll cut my hair if I'm doing a movie that was so big it requires a character of that type of status. I'd start again.
Would Carl Lettman put you on a blind date?
Is she hot though? That's the question.
You don't know. That's the thing. It's being a blind date. You don't know that.
Yeah, I'd do it, man. Yeah.
So even if you found out she's butters, you would still do it?
I'd still go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, because normally people weren't prepared for that. So, yeah, you seem that you got some balls on you for that. Okay, and last one is, would Carl Lettman be included in your fortune if, say, you earn millions?
What do you mean?
If your friends, your closest friends that you're around you, would you let people in on your fortune if you earned that much money?
Absolutely. Like I have, if I become a millionaire, there are people who automatically become rich. It's just like that. But that's just the type of person I am. I'm not. Money has never really been a big deal to me. So I cherish friends more. I cherish the things that money can bring to you, but not really money itself. So I'd pay off all my friends' debts if I could.
Wow, that's a true friend right there. That's people. If you're watching this at home, that's the guy that you need to be around. He'll look after you. He'll sort your debts out. Yeah, I'll put it out there. That's cool. Carl, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you for Media Spotlight UK. If you can let your fans out there know what your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, all that stuff, man.
It's really easy to find me. It's at Kyle Lettman for my Twitter and my Facebook and my Instagram. But the website is at Kyle Lettman official, not at www.kyleletmanofficial.com. So that's where most of the information will probably be up in terms of where the album's going to be and all of that stuff, where you can find the videos. But if you just Google my name, Kyle Lettman, all of this stuff should just come up.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, and make sure that you keep up with the guy that will order one more drink to get his confidence up. So this has been Media Spotlight UK, and we are out.
Talking to you, there's only one thing left for me to do now. I have one more drink. I just can't leave without you here tonight.